Hello everybody. In this video I want to showcase armor designs for Fallout, but in the Soviet Union. I was thinking about how might the USSR design their armors and weapons, so I made it myself. I wanted to keep the armors in line with the style of classic Fallouts, as well as Fallout 3 and New Vegas. Fallout 4's style is very exaggerated and I do not like it. The classic styles, as mentioned before, although stylized, are grounded and feel plausible and real, and that was my aim with these designs as well. Let's for a moment speak about Fallout, but in the USSR. The Union of Soviet Socialist Republics, or Soviet Russia, was a major communist power existing before the Great War. However, it has been eclipsed by China as the main foe of the United States, and enjoyed much more cordial relations by 2077. But when the Great War has started, it was not spared its fire. The USSR was destroyed and little known about how things are there. With this video I would like to take a small glimpse at how would some aspects of the Soviet Union would look like in a Fallout universe. And I intend to do that by showing possible armors/outfits that a Soviet Fallout game, in my own opinion, would maybe feature. Let's start with the first design. Soviet combat armor. Developed in the 2050s, as tensions between NATO and the USSR escalated, the infantry armored suit was designed as a standardized protective uniform for frontline Soviet troops. While the United States poured resources into power armor developments, the Soviets opted for a more cost-effective and easily mass-produced hybrid between ballistic gear and modular plating. So in my version, the Soviets did not create power armor because it was too costly and the tech wasn't there. So they opted to supply the whole army with quality armor. Armor that is on par with what the West has and even better in its protective qualities. Although it's protective, it's not as light and comfortable as the Western counterpart. Let's go over what this armor consists of. The helmet. Name: BM-60. Inspired by the Soviet Sphere helmets, this helmet is more bulkier and has integrated composite plating. Some advanced versions have basic night vision lenses, though rare. The helmet comes with an integrated radio headphone on the side of the helmet for easier communication. The body armor. P-58. Steel ceramic plates layered over Kevlar and aramid fiber mesh. It is modular, could be stripped down for mobility, or reinforced with heavier plating. The undersuit. The undersuit is a BDU with protective reinforcements in the knees and elbows, also feature light frog protection sewn in. The load-bearing gear. Canvas ammo pouches, bayonet sheath, and trenching tool, canteen, combat knives. Can also be just a normal chest rig, that's it. Boots. Reinforced combat boots with steel toe caps and rubber soles. The protective capabilities. Ballistic protection. Resistant to small arms fire, like 9mm, 45 ACP, and even 5.56 NATO at distance. It is lightly shielded against fallout dust and chemical exposure, thanks to treated fabrics. The mobility. Significantly heavier than standard fatigues, but still allowed a soldier to sprint, crouch, and fight without mechanical aid. Let's go over some lore of this armor. By 2060, the Soviet Union has stretched thin between border wars, proxy conflicts, and internal unrest. The Soviet infantry combat armor became a symbol of the Soviet might, issued en masse to frontline infantry divisions, metro security units, and even border guards. Unlike the United States approach, small elite units and power armor that is, the USSR believed in quantity with rugged quality. Millions of these suits were produced, stockpiled, and distributed across the Soviet sphere. When the Great War came, they were standard issue for the Red Army troops marching toward European fronts. In the post-war wasteland, surviving suits are rusted and incomplete or scavenged and repurposed by raiders and militias wearing mismatched sets. An intact and full suit mostly can be seen on wealthy mercs, that made some good money from their trade and decided to upgrade themselves. I will now show you some stats. They're just for flavor. I don't expect anybody to be modding this in the game, and lore-wise they could only be found in the USSR. Let's go to our next example. Soviet Advanced Armor. Created in the late 2060s as the USSR sought to keep pace with America's T-Series power armor, represented an experimental evolution of the standard infantry armor. The Soviets were not capable of making power armor, so they sought to make other solutions. The advanced power armor is one of these solutions. This armor was not mass-produced and was only given to special units. Let's go over the equipment. The helmet, Grom, Thunder. Fully enclosed helmet with reinforced plating. Some prototypes had single lens optics resembling an early night vision monocle. The chest and shoulder plating. Layered steel ceramic plates reinforced with a light exoskeleton harness under the fatigues. This armor plating was designed to absorb 7.62 rounds and shrapnel. The undersuit is a heavier variant of the field uniform, more reinforced, fitted with shock-absorbent pads and heat-resistant fabric. It has a sort of an integrated webbing and hardpoints for carrying grenades, ammo, drums, and sidearms. The boots are made from the same material as the plating and designed to absorb enemy fire and shrapnel. The ballistic protection of the armor. The armor is very strong and effective against 7.62 NATO. It only has weak points at the joints and where plating is segmented. As far as mobility goes, it's far heavier than the first design. It's sluggish without the servo assist harness. Infantry had to be trained to use it to its full capability. A capable user of the armor can win engagements against multiple opponents successfully. Close quarters battle is not scary for somebody in this armor. This armor never reached full deployment across the Soviet army. By the time it was rolling off production lines in 2073, the nuclear tension was spiraling towards a Great War. Only a few divisions were fully equipped, and many units received incomplete sets, mixing first-gen combat armor with new plating. After the bombs fell, surviving suits became status symbols among post-war militias and warlords. Some Soviet military bunkers still contain crates of suits in good condition. I will now show you some stats. Its role in the wasteland. Certain post-Soviet successor states or wasteland militias claim the suits as their official uniform. Of course, not everybody is equipped with them, only the best. Or the wealthiest. Armor traders and lore keepers treasure complete sets as proof of Soviet engineering. The next armor is not an armor. It's more of an outfit. The first two designs might seem similar to people. So the third design, I wanted to break it up a little bit and make something different. The Strider armor, or the Strider outfit. Let's get to the lore. When the bombs fell, many Soviet soldiers, hunters, and partisans perished, but some tradition refused to die. Out of the wasteland emerged the Striders, a loose brotherhood of guerrillas, hunters, and sharpshooters who carried forward fragments of pre-war identity. They wore mostly old Gorka suits that are fixed with scavenged fatigues, hooded cloaks, and old military gear. The most recognizable feature is a striped undershirt, a remnant of Soviet paratrooper and naval traditions still remembered and passed down through the generations. Its old meaning forgotten, and instead the Striders use it as a familiar sign for others like them. Some Striders are loners, living by the rifle and silence. Others band together in partisan-style cells, ambushing caravans or protecting their own territories. The hood and mask conceal the face and help them blend in more with the environment. You can say it's my version of the stalkers from the Stalker games, but a little bit different. They are not supposed to be seen as a big majority in the wasteland. They got their own little groups and their own little tribes, and some of them are loners. but usually they live in their own places and they don't like to mix with everybody else. They are survivalists and hunters and sharpshooters, and that makes them very valuable as mercenaries. I'm gonna show you the stats now. I hope you liked my ideas. I hope to see more ideas in the comments. Maybe some critique. I'm open to it. I have no problem with it. I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you.